Hi, my name is Humberto Hernandez,
And I'm Scott Katz.
and welcome to another episode of the Latte Lounge podcast. Welcome back, guys. And joining us today from the Central Florida Business Expo is Chrissanne Long. Chrissanne, great to have you. Awesome. So how you been? It's been so long.
It's been a while.
Yes, how you downtown Lakeland has evolved in so long.
So many things have
Yes,
changed.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, downtown is growing over the years and since back in the day with doing stuff in the community. And I know you're, a long time Lakelander and doing things in the community. So tell me a little bit about what you've been up to.
Well, I continue to look for ways to help build the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Polk County. Being that I'm in Lakeland, a lot of that time is focused on Lakeland. But really in the last few years, I've really been looking at ways to figure out how to branch that out into the rest of the community and how to get more and more connections to be possible across all of Polk County. So that's kind of what I've been working on.
Awesome. And what do you think about the development, everything that's going on in Lakeland? I mean, 10 years ago, this was like a totally night and day thing. And all of a sudden, all new entrepreneurships and all these businesses. What do you think about that?
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
And I also feel like there's a sense of resistance.
Yes.
There's people that are like, let's slow it down. And then there's innovation that says, let's progress faster. And so I'm kind of in the middle. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle lies the answer, but I feel like we have to understand both sides of that discussion.
Okay. From a media, what have you been doing in the media? I know that you've been doing a lot of like work for companies and whatnot. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So the business side of what I do is really digital marketing. So helping businesses get found online, more visibility, more access to their brands. So I do website design and social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and now answer engine optimization, AEO, with the age of AI.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of new changes going on in all of the things that I'm doing.
Exactly. With the change of AI, do you think it's easier now than it was before, maybe about 10 years ago?
Honestly, my answer is it hasn't really changed. I think the way that people are seeing how the world works is now more tangible to them. So you can see now in a search, the sources that are like what shows up on searches is more clear to a person. And now everybody's like, how do I become one of those people? Where it was search engine optimization was, how do I get one of those spots on the first page? Now it's like, how do I get my answer to be the answer that AI gives to the person searching?
Exactly. Is that like an algorithm system that you have to actually tap into, or what expertise do you need to actually access that algorithm and get your product or business out there?
It's a combination of the content that you place on your website and the signals that you send to the website the signals that you send to Google and to everywhere else. So everyone's kind of pulling from Google as the main source, but then how you're setting up your website and the code and the information you're placing there, there's two pieces of that puzzle. It's the content and then it's the way that you build your site.
Gotcha. And when you pay, let's say as paying and not paying, what would you say is the difference? Like if you pay to have your website more visible, is that something that...
You're talking about paid ads, which you're paying Google to show your website up above everybody else's. Yes. And then there's the organic element, which the organic element is really truly like how you measure up against your competition. And if your competition is, if all things were created equally, you would have to have one more signal higher than the other competition to be able to show up higher than them. And that's a simplistic way of explaining it, but it's really about your content. It's about value. It's how are you bringing value? So Google's goal is to bring value to the people who are searching. And so if you have just kind of lackadaisical content, they don't want to show that to people. People really want to know what the answer to their question is. And if you're kind of spamming the answer to their question, Google's not going to reward that.
Exactly. And over the years, things have changed in technology. You've been pretty busy helping businesses with the Expo. Tell me a little bit about the Expo.
So the Expo is my new baby. It's this fun, exciting thing that has come out. So this will be year 3. So 3 years ago, the Expo was born as a partnership with some other business owners in the community, and we kind of saw this idea that Polk County. I mean, I'm a product of Polk County Public Schools. I love Polk County. I love Lakeland. I love all of the things that we do here, and I just feel like there's so much more potential than we're even given credit for.
Yes.
So when you compare us, like we were talking back to the competition, right? You compare us with Tampa and Orlando, I don't think that we're in that conversation.
Exactly.
And I really want to do something about that.
Exactly.
And so 2000, well, actually it dates back. I'm not going to get into the details, but the idea dates back to pre-COVID. So in 2019, we had this vision and this idea for an expo, a world-class event taking place in Lakeland at the RP Funding Center.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID came, and so all of the things stopped.
Exactly.
And then in 2024, or actually maybe late 2023, a conversation with the city of Lakeland brought up the idea again. And I said, this is a solution. If you guys like the idea, we would love to be able to to bring it to life. But if not, it's okay. And so after a conversation with the city manager, Sean Shiraus, several months after that dialogue, he said, all right, let's do it.
Nice.
But we want to do it in April. And this was in January. And so we had like 120 days to kind of put the whole idea together, bring it to life, and then execute and make it happen.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. And I know working with the RP Funding Center, and you mentioned before about businesses going to Orlando and Tampa. And we have our own little hub here in Lakeland, and it's kind of like our little jewel here, but not many, businesses tend to go, like you said, towards Tampa or towards Orlando. What do you say to businesses that do that, that give them an inspiration? Because I know when speaking to the RP Funding Center, I know things have changed for them for a little bit. A lot of people shows have come and gone. And I think that when speaking to them, I said they need to bring more, like, good shows like that and more stuff productive in the community. But what do you suggest for businesses, to consider Lakeland for a position to come showcase their events?
I think our location is a good thing, and also it can be a challenge because we're so close to Tampa and Orlando. Back in a long time ago, I had a conversation with someone about how do I get a band to come to Lakeland as opposed to some of, it was like a middle market band. It wasn't like a big band. And they said, it's really about the what's the word? The people who are promoting, the promoters of those bands. Yeah. And so they have contracts with the different cities, right? So like if they contract with Tampa, and then the contract says you can't have another event within 50 miles, 60 miles outside of the contract. So the beauty is that they can do Tampa and Orlando because it's outside of those mileage, that mileage restriction. Mm-hmm. But we are right in the middle of that. Yeah. So if a band goes to Tampa, they cannot come to Lakeland based on the contract. And if they go to Orlando, they can't come to Lakeland because of the contract. So we're right there in the middle. Yeah. So we're like no man's land in that sense. Yeah. And so I think that for me, that awareness of, well, what we have to do has to come from within. Okay. We can't count on drawing the attraction of all of the big names and all of the other things because that's a competitive disadvantage. Exactly. That we currently have that we have to figure out how to overcome.
Exactly. So break it down for me. For a business, I'm a business. What benefits me to go to the Expo?
To the Expo. So the Expo is a full day business-to-business trade show. When I think about events that have been promoted to me in the last 15 years since I've been an entrepreneur, a lot of them are taking me outside of my community, right? I can go to Tampa, I can go to Orlando, I can go to Atlanta, I can go to Miami, and I can see these really great, awesome, incredible speakers, life-changing speakers, yes. Right? But when I go to these events, I'm one person in a very, very large lake, a very large yes. ocean, right? Mm-hmm. When I go away, and I'm like, I feel so inspired. I mean, I think we've all probably done that, right? Yes, we've gone absolutely. To a conference, and we're like, I feel so inspired. And then I get home, and life just kind of captures me back again, right? Yeah. So for me, the Expo is this idea of what if we were able to be in the same room with the people that we are going to see next week, next month, and we can continue to have conversations, coffee, networking conversations that can continue to transpire from the dialogue.
Okay.
And I think that's what you can get from the expo. It takes place here. It's powered by people from here. It's not an outsider's thing. It's a local thing.
Gotcha.
And the vision is to really inspire the local community to support the local community, which is what I've been saying for 15, 16 years.
Absolutely.
Right?
And that's kind of the whole thing why we're here too at Cruise Bank and Cruise Bank and Trust, working with Scott, working with the community, showcasing businesses, letting the community know that we're out here, and just being a voice for the community. But are you able to give me a little teaser as your guests or your speakers?
So our speakers, it's going to be kind of, this year is different. So if you were a part of the event in the last 2 years, we brought Donald Miller the very first year. So everyone knows who Donald Miller. He's a world-renowned speaker, coach, author. Last year I brought in the Purpose Factor, and they were fantastic. This year I'm bringing in more local. Okay. And so we've got Alicia Martin from Suncoast Credit Union. Okay. We have one of the previous business owners of multiple locations of Badcock. So if you know the story of Badcock, where that disappeared overnight for a lot of those business owners. And so he's going to talk about how that impacted him. Okay. We've got Jim McFarland, the America's Cobbler. Yeah. So we've got some really local spirit and some local energy going on at the event this year. And then there'll be some people that people haven't heard of, but the content is going to be rich, solid, and strong for us to be motivated and inspired and encouraged in the businesses that we're running.
That's awesome. Any podcasters, because I know lately podcasters are actually getting out there and really putting out some there's conventions now on podcasting and getting a podcast up and making money. I mean, it's just the expansion, but I know probably Scott, you're going to be in the show as well. You're going to be one of the speakers.
Well, and I'm just listening to Chrissanne speak, and my question to you is: so in the last 10 years, what went from quiet Chrissanne to all of a sudden speaking about yourself?
Man,
and
that's a loaded question.
I know, because when I met you maybe 10, 15 years ago, Chrissanne's responsible for a lot of success in Lakeland.
Oh, yeah.
But Chrissanne was more laid back. And then a few years ago, I actually heard you tell your story when you spoke. And then all of a sudden, since that, I've noticed you speak a lot more. You're out there a lot more.
So my answer to that question is, I think when you feel called by God to answer something that's stirring inside of you, you can push it down, and you can push it down for only so long. But if he keeps calling you, there's probably like time to answer. Yes. And I've kind of feel like maybe back then I was deferring, like trying to no, it's okay. I just kind of want to exist. But I think I really want to live now. And I feel like this is living, and living out loud means, saying some things that might feel a little bit uncomfortable and awkward, but also doing things that are risk. I'm not a risk averse person, but I am also not a person who really wants to be like in the limelight. I don't really want to draw attention to myself. I want to draw the attention to the people that I'm supporting. So that's really where I feel like I'm at my best. This is not how I feel like I want to live, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Doing great. Many people look up to you.
Well, thank you.
And many people look up.
What's next in the future for anything new that you could tell us that's coming for the show? Or
well, I will love to tell you a couple of the features to expect at the expo. This is kind of like a behind the scenes. I'm telling things that you might not hear anywhere else. So obviously there's exhibitors, there's sponsors, there's attendees. Like that's the element of the experience. Yeah. There's speakers and breakthrough sessions, not breakout sessions, but breakthrough sessions. So all of these things are like intentionally created and curated. My excitement comes from what I'm calling the activations. Mm-hmm. Like there are different things that are happening this year that I've had the ability to focus on, because this year I have an awesome sales team and I have some people helping me with the programmatic side of things. So when I get a chance to talk to somebody in an organization that has like very specific goals, like let's just say they have connections to health and art.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can see a way for us to bring that experience to the expo. Let's figure out what we can do there. So let's have an art activation at the expo where we're going to have live art happening in real time at the expo so that people can connect business and art and all of the pieces that come into that piece.
Those creative juices.
Yeah. And so we're also, so I've been working as a coach, and part of the benefits of, part of the proceeds of the expo go to junior achievement. So junior achievement Polk County, and they're getting ready to open up the Discovery Center, the Barnett Family Discovery Center, which will have Finance Park and BizTown. And through the work that I've done with junior achievement, I've become a coach at their 3DE. Their one of their programs is teaching 11th graders. I think it's all through high school, but I coach the 11th graders. And one of the culminating experiences was that they had to exhibit a business at the end of their semester.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to bring those students to the business expo so that they can be like in the real business world and not just this like make-believe idea of a business. And so there's some activations going on around that. And then one of my favorites, more fun. Like I feel like we have to play. We have to have fun. We have to enjoy being in business, and also like play makes us just feel a little bit more like, let's go back to our childhood.
Exactly.
So there's going to be something called the Squeeze Play Parade, a parade in the middle of the expo with the mascots of the Detroit Tigers and the Flying Tigers, and then Publix, and the city of Lakeland has several mascots, and anybody that has a mascot, like, let us know, because we want to have a parade with all these fun mascots. And it's going to be air conditioned, so it's not going to be in the heat, but it's going to be a good, fun opportunity for us to just enjoy taking pictures and selfies and all of the things with all of the fun.
There you go. The Hebrew hammer needs to be there.
I know.
Hebrew hammer?
Maybe if I get back in time.
What better way to
See,
promote?
yeah, my fantasy football.
Yeah, the
mascot.
fantasy football.
Oh,
I am my fantasy football.
Exactly,
you are the
exactly.
mascot.
Awesome.
You can be there.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm glad you talk about the 3D.
3D.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I also do that.
Oh, do
See,
you?
I do the 10th grade.
Okay.
And it is great.
Oh, it's such a
It's-
great
it's
program for the kids.
fantastic.
And I just feel like if we could educate students before they get to high school, before they get to college, to identify that there's like more than just 3 paths. I mean, we've done go straight to work, we've done go to college, we've done go to the trades, but you could also become an entrepreneur.
That's amazing.
And if you start a business and you kind of have an understanding of, hey, I have this skill set that I don't really know. Like I didn't learn that in high school. My dad was an entrepreneur. He owned a Hallmark store when I was growing up, and then that formed his identity, which also formed my identity. But I never thought in my life that I would be an entrepreneur. So if I could have learned that, I could have saved a lot of pain and hardship, because this is, I think, where God really wanted me to be. But it took me till my 30s to figure it out.
Wow, that's almost like, think about it, it's like the NBA, you go out and look for, players. Why not do it for entrepreneurships? Go to the schools and see what students have that gift, yeah. And you never know, that could be the next, the next leader of company, just because, they have the talent. But Chrissanne, tell us where a business can go to sign up or get more information on that.
So we have a website. We have the channels. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we have a website, cflbe.com. And any information that they can find there, they can also send a message. There's a form on our website if they have, maybe there's an activation that they dream of that they would like to bring to the event. They can send a message and we can
Exactly.
they can send a message and we can dream together.
Exactly.
Maybe it won't happen this year.
That
but
should
we
be
can talk about next year.
the motto. We can dream
Let's
together.
dream together.
let's dream together. All right, Chrissanne. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for
and
having me.
we will have those links in the show for you guys to let you know where you can get more information on the expo. We'll be right back.
Babies need a college fund. Let's go.
All right, I've been training for this since last weekend.
Ooh, AI, freshman year, secured.
Awesome.
You sure this is how people prepare for college?
Guys, what are you doing?
College fund.
Guys, you need Cruise Bank and Trust.
Oh, honey, AI is crashing.
Taking the blindfold off your financial future. Cruise Bank and Trust, managing your wealth so you don't have to.
Welcome back, guys, to the Latte Lounge. And our next guest is Ferdinand DeJesus from Freddy Dance Project. Awesome, Freddy. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. What do you think about downtown?
I love downtown.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
first
I live
Fridays.
close to downtown now. You know, I remember when this was not downtown. Downtown is very different now
Oh,
than
yeah.
when I landed in
Oh
Polk
yeah,
County.
yeah. Evolution over the years. I mean, things have changed like night and day. Just like we were talking to Chrissanne, man, things are really now changing for the better too. But you have a lot going on. Tell me a little bit about what you've been doing.
Well, I've been doing a lot. I was in a documentary this year that's going to be premiering in October at the Gem Theater in Mulberry. It is called Diaspora.
Okay.
It's sort of like a take on being a Puerto Rican here in the United States.
Okay.
And that experience of Puerto Ricans and the diaspora of Puerto
Okay.
Ricans. So look for that in October because it's premiering, and for the first time in Lakeland, it premiered in Orlando.
Oh, wow.
And I'm excited because I'm a part of it.
That is
and I
awesome.
was very honored to be invited to do that. I think that layered on to, I wrote a memoir this year too. So
Awesome.
that's called Dancing Through Fire. And that was supported by an amazing publishing company called the Mothership Imprint. And they sort of like took me under their wing and led me through that experience of writing this, all because Freddy Dance Project graduated.
Yeah.
We had a 12-year anniversary this year. My studio, Ultimate Dance Center, which is I'm the co-owner of Ultimate Dance Center, that celebrated 10 years. So it's been a season of celebration.
That's awesome.
And then I just recently had a birthday.
Awesome. Well, happy birthday, belated birthday.
Thank you.
Well, let's rewind it back a little bit. Let's go back to New York. Tell me a little about
Hi, New York.
New York. Why Lakeland?
Lakeland, well, I came to Lakeland. New York was home. And so the dance world took me all over the world, all over the United States of America. Polk County Lakeland called me as a dancer. I came here in 1999 to dance for the Florida Dance Theater in the good old tradition of the Nutcracker.
Wow.
The Christmas show. I came here, I did the Nutcracker, and I came through downtown. I ended up getting off of the Amtrak from Broward County, which is where my mom was in Broward County at the time. And I took the train from Hollywood, came up to Lakeland, was waiting for all of Florida Dance Theater to open. Florida Dance Theater at that time was way off of Bartow Highway, way back there, like, yeah,
In the
over by the
sticks.
college, Polk College, and that was the sticks. Back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, oh yeah.
There
Back
was
in
nothing
those,
over there.
Back in those
Now
days.
there's a lot, but in those days, and there was nothing here. This was deserted. Downtown was like, there was nobody here. And so I got off the train, I walked with my suitcase, and I went into Harry's, and I met the manager of Harry's, who's still the manager of Harry's, Robin. And Robin gave me some cold water and talked to me about New Jersey and about her relocating here to Lakeland. And I was like, you know what, I'm kind of liking this vibe. Like, this is a cute little downtown area. It had a quaintness about it that I really loved. And then I was smitten. At that point, I did rehearsal. I did my performance of the Nutcracker, and I went back down to South Florida, and Miami was crazy at that in the 90s, and there was work for dancers, but there really wasn't work for dancers. There wasn't that many opportunities. So I just leaned into the Florida Dance Theater opportunity, decided to come back to Lakeland, got offered a job at the Rochelle School of the Arts, where I became Mr. DeJesus at the Rochelle School of the Arts. I choreographed at the Harrison School of the Performing Arts many times within their department, and realized like Lakeland is really rich in the arts.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff happening here with the arts.
Yes.
And so, being from a bigger city, I thought immediately like this is an opportunity for me to see how I can invest myself in this arts community. That investment most definitely was with Florida Dance Theater at the start, Miss Carol Irks, who came here from Cincinnati.
Wow. A lot of
She
people from
came here-
Ohio.
Yep, she came here from Cincinnati, and I had already danced in Dayton, Ohio, so I knew about the Ohio energy. She gave me some Cincinnati chili, which is like the spaghetti. It's like chocolate spaghetti. It's so good.
Wow.
And yeah, so I danced with Florida Dance Theater for many, many years. Then went away for an opportunity to dance in Dallas, Texas. And it was actually in Fort Worth that the Bruce Wood Dance Company existed. And I did that for about maybe 3 or 4 years. Florida Dance Theater was on the radar. She kept calling. I came back and reinvested myself in the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce here in Polk County, Lakeland, the Puerto Rican Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, directed by Senora Ana Rivera, Ana Ocasio, who supported me the whole time of me being here at Florida Dance Theater. And then I just kind of took over the associate artistic director role there, spent 15 years there, and was really leaning into the diversity in Lakeland.
Yes.
Was really noticing the diversity. By that point, I had already started what is now known in Lakeland as the Rocky Horror Picture Show Experience. We started that in 2004 at the Polk Theater as an opportunity to raise money for children who want to dance.
That's awesome.
So Florida Dance Theater sort of like helped me pioneer that. I'm still a huge part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show Experience today. The cast and crew are called the Lipstick Players, and they are a group of Polk County people who are, you know, pioneers and pushers of the idea of, you know, there's room for everybody here in Lakeland. Don't dream it, be it is the philosophy of the Rocky Horror Picture Show Experience. So been doing that, you know, for now it's 18 years old. I think Rocky Horror Picture Show is,
It has to be close to 50 years now, Rocky Horror.
yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show itself is 50 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
Yeah, right. But
In
here
Lakeland.
in Lakeland, I think last year we were like, oh, we're 18. You know, and it was like, yeah, like we've been doing this for a long time. Maybe 21. I think we're legal now.
Wow.
So we were like, yeah, you know, the Rocky Horror Picture Show cast. And doing that, and then the Freddy Dance Project, my labor of love, which is my non-for-profit organization that, as well as Freddy Dance Project, as well as the Rocky Horror Picture Show, is a place and a space for young people to be able to benefit from the art of dance on a scholarship. Some reduced rate of class tuition that just gives them an opportunity to experience classical ballet, contemporary dance, hip hop, salsa, bachata, merengue, bomba, African dance, different genres of dance that really kind of like expose them to dance as an art form.
That's amazing.
That's Freddy Dance Project. And then on the other side of the coin is Ultimate Dance Center. Ultimate Dance Center is my entrepreneurship. It's my way of like coming to Lakeland and realizing, okay, these people really love competition dance. RP Funding Center is a huge host of competition dance. So the first time I went to a competition in Lakeland, it was at the RP Funding Center. And that experience woke me up to the idea of like, okay, this is a market. This is a huge market in this county. Why do these people come from all over Florida to come here to Lakeland?
Yeah.
Because of the competitions.
Little Lakeland, yeah.
They come to the competitions. The RP Funding Center hosts the competition, and people come here from all over the state, and they come downtown. Then now I see a lot of them at the joinery, because I'm a big joinery buff. I love that place.
Yeah.
And these competition people come.
Yeah.
They come by the thousands. Like, this is a big business here. So, you know, I saw that and I was like, okay, I want in. How do I tap into this market? As a studio owner, that's how I did it. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna work on creating a space that offers all these dance genres that they compete in, and has a competitive team. You know, we're in the age of media. I'm sure you've
exactly.
seen Dance Moms.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Abby Lee on Dance Moms.
Exactly.
So I tell people all the time, I'm not trying to be the Abby Lee of Lakeland, but there are lots of people here who have been here for 30, 40 years doing this competitive thing.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to be included in their registry of dance center studios. My kids love competing. I have finally found a way to enjoy it.
Yeah.
At first, I was just kind of like, oh my God, all the drama, the hair, the makeup, the costumes, the money that goes into this. I'm talking thousands of dollars.
Oh,
These
I
parents invest
imagine,
in
yeah.
their children. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy watching them invest in their children. I enjoy being a part of that. And I've learned to enjoy it. At first, I was just a little taken aback because I do come from a very professional conservatory concert dance world.
Yeah.
Classical ballet, traditional contemporary genres, Alvin Ailey.
Yeah.
Like that's the school that I trained at in New York. Because, like you said, I'm a New Yorker,
Yeah.
but I'm also a Floridian now. They say if you've been here more than 10 years, you become a Floridian. And so, my mom brought me here to Hollywood, Florida in 1987, and I thought, what are you doing?
I know,
How
right?
did we get here?
Yeah.
But now I'm here in Lakeland, and I love it. I like being here. And
Freddie, you covered a lot, from the Rocky Horror Picture Show to Freddy Dance Studio. Tell me, I know you've done what's the inspiration behind your dancing career? And there's other things, because the Jazz Hamilton concert, that was a huge success.
Oh, Jazz Hamilton. Well, Jazz Hamilton represented a really big part of what inspired me about dance. Yeah. Collaboration, celebration of my culture and the history of America. That was awesome. That was a really great experience. Jazz Hamilton, as a musician alone, that was an honor to be included in that presentation. He approached me very professionally, commissioned me as the choreographer and the artist. So that was outstanding. I really hope to continue working with Jazz Hamilton. There are a lot of other projects on the table, so stay posted to me on socials, Freddy DeJesus, Ultimate Dance Center, Freddy Dance Project, so you can see some more about some of the things that are going to be happening with Jazz Hamilton. But what inspired me to dance in the first place, I'm in New York City. Yeah. New York City is the mecca of the performing arts. The first time I ever saw the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater was in 1977.
Oh,
I think I was a kid, and it was on PBS, and they were dancing, and I think it was like a family event, and my family always says, like, you closed yourself in the room. I put the dresser in front of the door.
Oh my God.
I was like focused on like this amazing experience that I was having as a little kid. And then from that moment on, I was thinking about the arts and dance in New York City. I'm on the subway. I see somebody wearing a New York City Ballet jacket. And I followed them all the way to New York City Ballet. As I was walking to New York City Ballet, I passed the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and I saw people that looked like me. And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna go to the New York City Ballet, I'm gonna stop here. And then that began my journey of trying to find a place to dance and train, because I saw these amazing humans in this space, and I was like, how do I do this? How do I get to this? And that's what began the change. Dance changes it. What is it? I always say to people, dance can change people's lives, and it can also save people's lives. And I think at that point, I was a kid in New York City who could have leaned into a very different culture, a street culture, a poverty culture. I come from a single-parent household, welfare mom. Our trip to Florida was based on a dream of being able to have a better life. So dance, the inspiration of dance was definitely what I knew as the key to my future.
That's awesome. You must have been working with Jazz. I got a chance to work with Jazz too. As a matter of fact, when you watch the podcast in the beginning of the show, the intro song was composed by Jazz.
Yes.
And I was excited when he called me after working with him, and he said, I got a surprise for you. And I said, wow, what? I'm thinking, what's Jazz going to surprise you with?
Amazing.
And he says, I got a composer for Jazz. I know you you have a great podcast, but I have something for you. And then when he played it, I was just like, I was floored. I was like,
That's
oh
so
my
great.
God. So it's so exciting to
Wow.
have, yeah, to have the actual composure while they were over there at the RP Funding Center, you know, practicing. They took time to compose this
That's really great.
original composition. But we're gonna take a break and we will be right back.
Create digital products once and sell them forever. Start earning passive income today.
And welcome back to the Latte Lounge, guys. My name's Humberto with Scott Katz and Freddy from Freddy Dance Studio. And we'll keep going with the conversation. Freddy, tell me a little bit about what you're doing in the studio. I took a chance to go up there and had a little sneak peek at what you're doing with the students.
They were very inspired, by the way, by that experience.
Awesome.
We're now in the throes, as I said earlier, about competitive dance here in Lakeland. We're in competition season. I'm having competition team auditions on August 15th at Ultimate Dance Center. If you want to know more about that, you can log on to www.udclakeland.com, or you can just shoot me a DM online, Facebook, Instagram, and I'll return the message gladly.
Awesome.
The girls were you got to meet Jenna,
Mhm.
and then you also got to meet Evangeline. Jenna is one of our rising stars. She's in our minis division.
Okay.
And Evangeline is one of our seniors. So you got to see both ends of the spectrum.
Awesome.
A young child who's kind of just starting off on the team. She's only
Yes.
been there a year.
Wow.
And then Evangeline, who's also a veteran on the team, left the team and is now returning.
Wow.
So that's what you got to see, the work that goes into the competitive team. And,
That's amazing.
you know, that is the heart of Ultimate Dance Center. We have the Ultimate Dance Center Training Academy, which are recreational classes, and then we have a competitive team, which tryouts are on August 15th. So be there if you're trying to be on my fierce team of winners, because these kids, they go to New York every year, they bring home all the awards, and they have an amazing experience. And I'm really honored to have them as a part of Ultimate Dance.
That's awesome. Well, while there, I had a chance to do a little recording, and when he says mini division, he's not lying. She's about that big, but she's so precious, and she's amazing. So we went and got a little footage just for you guys to enjoy. And welcome back, guys, to the Latte Lounge. And again, please like and follow our channel for more content. And today we're following up and keeping the conversation going with Javier and Johnny from the Central Florida Success Car Show.
Thank you.
Good to meet you guys.
for
A
having
pleasure to
us.
meet
You
you
too.
guys.
Thank you for
Awesome.
having us. Love it.
And what do you guys think about downtown Lakeland, man? It's been growing for a while now. Now it looks all very beautiful out there.
Amazing day, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
beautiful. There's
So
lots
tell
of
me
people.
about you guys' car club. I saw some pictures of the cars, and tell me a little bit about what you guys do.
So yeah, we started here in Polk County in 1998. We host events in Bartow. We do car shows. We do toy drives, and we also we host different events around the county and support other car clubs in other counties. We're a lowrider car club, and of course we're lowrider enthusiasts. But we also love and giving back to the community as well. And that's one of our biggest things is trying to give back to the youth mainly, because they're the ones that are going to be, taking over the club or eventually, and are the future of everything that we've got going on.
And how long have you guys been doing this?
So we've actively been together since 1998. We've been doing events about 10 years now. We're coming up on our 10th year hosting our picnic at the Bartow Mary Holland Park. It's called Sitting in the Park, hosted by us. And we invite families and friends to come out and barbecue and bring their grills. We have vendors, kids, bikes, and cars galore. It's always a good time.
Awesome. So not just cars. It's like the custom bikes,
Yeah.
the cars.
Yeah, it's like a family event,
Awesome.
it's mostly for families,
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the way that you guys are giving back to the community and working with the youth, that's amazing, because nowadays the youth, they either sway one way or another,
Yeah.
but having mentors like yourselves to come in and give them something to aspire, or a hobby or something that they can really put their passion into. Automotive, do you guys work in the customization of vehicles as well, or just kind of the club?
Yeah, we do both.
Yeah.
We all have our own different roles in modifying cars. One of our guys back here is a painter. I daddle with a little bit of everything, and we all do a lot of our own work on our cars.
Okay.
So as far as, we customize them completely.
Okay.
I mean, we almost all of our cars hop and move and do maneuvers and things like that.
Okay.
So we're into customization of mainly cars for us, but a lot of us have bikes, little like bicycles.
Yeah, the lowrider X.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And there's also lowrider motorcycles. Those are starting
I've
to
seen those. Those are awesome.
hit the street. They're very nice.
Wow. What do you guys prefer? Old school, new school?
Man, old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the new cars,
6'4".
the new cars nowadays, the frames are different.
Yes.
The suspension's different. I think the oldest one you can make into a rider now is like in the 90s, 98, 99.
Yeah.
Either Cadillac or Lincoln.
Okay.
That's, everything newer than that is harder to make it into a lowrider.
Gotcha. Because you got the new generation doing the donks with
Yeah.
with the huge
huge
tires, and
yeah.
then I personally like the lowriders with the hydraulics and 3-wheel motion and
Yeah.
lean side to side. That was back in those days where where you had like NWA and
Right.
from California. So you guys are really, the style is basically like California style, right?
Yes.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how much work goes into, let's say, for example, you have, let's say, a 64 Impala that you inherited from your father. How much would you say that goes into like putting in, if you really want to have something, nice
Yeah.
off the top of your head?
I mean,
To have a nice, probably like $100,000.
$100,000, right?
Yeah.
Paint.
60s.
Yeah.
Paint jobs are going for $10,000 and up now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything's gone up.
Wow.
10,000 for hydraulics. Yeah.
Wow.
It's going crazy.
And is there any reinforcements that
Oh, yeah.
needs to be done in the chassis?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever
Is-
you're moving the whole body of the car, there's always that potential for flexing. So you got to well, yeah, reinforce the stress points and things like that to
Yeah.
get it to just park on a three
Gotcha.
wheel
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things.
Yeah, it's best to do that, to do the reinforcement.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In a competition for, let's say, for lowriders, what's the criteria to enter into a show like that? And what do you look for, let's say, for example, a winning car? What would you consider a winning car?
Man, there's so many categories when it comes to low riding and when there's a full, which is from the bottom to the top. Even the frame was taken special care of, painted and given different styles. And then there's street, like most of what we do. We're looking good on the paint and on the outside, and then able to cruise and hop. A full car, typically you wouldn't drive that. That would be something that you would.
And Johnny, you got some events going on in the future. Tell us a little bit about the events.
Yeah, so we're doing our picnic that we host annually. We're actually getting into doing it twice a year, but this one is a special one. It's going to be our 10th annual picnic in Mary Holland Park, where we just invite our friends to come out. It's not a show, it's not trophies or anything like that. It's one that we host every year, and big turnout on this one. A lot of family, a lot of friends. In Mary Holland Park, they actually have a circle of concrete, or a road basically, that goes around the whole park, and that is it's what we use to cruise and really showcase our vehicles when we step out there. So we'll go out there and we'll park and relax, chill, cook, talk with old friends, and then get in the car and hit the circle again, show off, say hey to the friends, and just hit the switches and really showcase what we've been working in between shows, where we're upgrading our cars and making changes. So that is our main event that we host, and it'll be on November 15th in Bartow, Mary Holland Park. It's an all-day event. Anybody's welcome. It's all lowriders mainly, but it's all families. So we welcome all families out to come out and enjoy the day with us.
Awesome. And we'll definitely put the information on our podcast for the viewers to come on down and enjoy a day of, low riders and family. And also as well, we will want to be there as well, maybe covering a little bit of it and then bringing it back to the show. If you guys would love to be back on, we would definitely, cover a little bit of that show, because I think that's interesting. I come from, back in the day, that was kind of my thing too. I really enjoyed the creativity that went into the art of getting a car to look like, a piece of art. And not only that, you park somewhere and heads turn when people see it. So tell us, how can somebody get connected, or do you have a website that people can go to be a part of it?
Yeah, actually, on the other side, we do have a Facebook page, Success Car Club Central Florida. We also have an Instagram page, Success Car Club _ Central Florida. And that's where we post all of our events, as well as other events too. We're real big on supporting our other car club brothers from different car clubs, and they always host events. There's one next month in September in St. Cloud, and that's another one we'll be at. But yeah, if you follow us on our page and go check us out, you'll see where we post all the events, all local events, mainly Central Florida, but all the way down to South and Miami too.
Awesome. That is so awesome. Well, folks, you've heard it. Show up and get your good eating and watch a nice show. We'll see you guys there, because I know I will be there. But you know what? Thank you guys again for showing. You guys, my hat's off to you. You're working in the community, giving back to the community, and doing events like that. That's awesome, and that's what we need. So stick around, because we got a lot more to come. And we'll take a short break. But my name is Humberto, and like and follow again. But we'll be right back. And welcome back to the Latte Lounge. My name is Humberto. It's got Katz, and today we got Tommy from Nitpicking Detailers.
Nitpicking Mobile Detailing.
Nitpicking Mobile Details. And we were just talking about cars, and in our last segment here, talking about detailed or lowrider cars. So what better way to have the end the show with a professional detailers? Tommy, tell me a little bit about your business and the detailing business.
So we've been here since 2018, and we're IDA certified. We specialize in ceramic coatings and paint corrections. That's what we like to do the most. And yeah, we're nitpicking. So basically, you know, nobody wants a boss that's nitpicking over your shoulder. You know, what are you doing over there? You
makes
do that
sense.
better. But everybody wants the detailer to be nitpicking.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was actually with Neta Rodriguez at another job when we were doing audio visual, where I came up with that idea from a dead sleep and hopped out. Like I was having a dream. We just did an 18-hour shift, 8-hour drive, and like 6 to 7 hours. I can't remember how long the shift was. So I passed out, 3 hours of sleep, and I just sat right up and said, nitpicking. And I was looking for something else to do so I could be more independent. And a couple weeks goes by, and I'm at another resort. Same thing, except I had the flu. And woke up from a dead sleep and said, we don't cut corners, we nitpick them. And that was it. 2 months
my
later,
God.
full business plan, website, everything's legit and legal and licensed, and marketing and branding was already done. Full business plan.
Wow.
Out the door just like that.
And Cruise Bank and Trust. So tell me,
Yeah.
how do you like working with two Cruise Bank and Trust?
So I love it. I was just telling him that. So when we were doing First Fridays a few years ago, we were setting up down the street over there, and one of his associates came up and introduced themselves, and I was like, that's weird because we're actually looking for a new bank, more of a local, you know, easier bank to bank with, you know. And yeah, one thing led to another. We've been with him for several years, and I wouldn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I hear
There's
great
really no
things, yeah.
sense. The online banking and everything is just great. Everybody
Yeah.
that works here,
Yeah.
great.
Awesome.
Fast service, everyone's kind. I don't never have to wait in line when I come in here. No, it's a pleasure.
It is. It
for
is.
sure.
Everywhere I go, I can't talk to anybody that doesn't know Scott. So I mean, everybody I talk to is like, you know that guy?
I'm trying to get on that level.
Yeah. So he gets around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. So getting into detailing, what one of the things in Florida here is the love bug season. What do you recommend for like those pesky bugs in Florida that kind of like litter the front of your car, and it seems like you never get them out?
Stay on top of it. Don't wait a month to get them off. You know, because if you do, they get hard, and the acids from the bugs eat into the clear coat, and then
wow.
it pits the paint, and there's really no way to fix it.
Wow.
If it gets too bad, you actually have to repaint it if you care about what it looks like.
Wow.
You know? But no, you just stay on top of it. You can use a wet drying towel, like get hot water on it. Right when you get home, just throw it over the front end of the car.
Okay.
Let it sit there, and then they should just wipe right off.
Awesome.
No
man.
chemicals at all.
Wow.
But if you drive every day, you got to do it every day.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you wait a couple weeks, then you got to use a product or whatever, this and that. But if you want true protection, then you just put a ceramic coating on.
Yeah. Yeah. Waxing. I know there's a lot of misconceptions. People think that you should wax once a year, or in Florida, the heat, the sun.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for people that have cars and they're thinking about waxing, and some don't, but what do you recommend here in Florida?
Well, I don't know. I feel like waxing is kind of phasing out.
Is it?
So a ceramic sealant is easier and faster for the person that they're a DIY guy doing it themselves. But if you want something professional, ceramic coating.
How long does that last?
It depends. That's a question that everybody wants to know.
Who wants to know? Yeah, yeah.
Because there's 1 year up to 10 year, and does it last 10 years? You have to take care of it.
Yeah.
It's not just gonna
maintenance.
You have to wash it, and you can't wash it with certain chemicals. You got to baby it. You know? And there's tougher coatings, there's softer coatings, and it's it's all. I mean, just like anything else in the market, there's high quality products, and then there's not high quality products.
Exactly.
And you just have to know
Which one
ones
you
are. That's what's hard for a lot of people to figure out when they're trying to hire a detailer. They don't know.
Exactly.
Nobody knows. It's our job to educate them.
Yeah.
If we don't educate them, which is first base is the website.
Yes.
Everything you need to know should be right there.
Yeah.
A lot of websites don't even educate people what a ceramic coating actually is.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true. And, educate yourself on what you need to do for your vehicle, and it'll last longer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why we have a blog. Yeah.
Because
it's always there.
With wrapping, a car that's wrapped and a car that's not wrapped, the difference between that, what would you think? What would you say in the detail process? Is there a difference, or what do you recommend?
When you have to maintain it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference because wraps scratch easily. So they're a lot more finicky than just car paint or ceramic coating.
Yeah.
Wraps are like you wouldn't use your same brush that you're washing the top of a truck with on a wrap because it's going to scratch it.
Right,
You would use like a microfiber mitt.
Yeah.
Lots of soap suds so it's nice and slippery.
Slippery, yeah.
And you could put a ceramic coating on that as well.
Right, yeah. So you have to be very careful. There's a big It's a big. You can damage, your finish.
Yeah, and wraps are expensive.
Yeah,
You know, just on my trailer is like $3,000, and I only have a 5x8 trailer.
Wow.
And that's just all the way around it. That's not like a car where you have door panels and hills and valleys and nooks and crannies, and you got to fold it into the door panels and all that. So, to wrap like that SUV right there would be like $8,000.
Yeah.
To wrap that whole thing.
They do tend to get very expensive. So I'd rather, they say it takes care of your paint or the sun because of
5 to 7 years is all it lasts though.
Yeah.
Unless you garage keep it.
Yeah.
If you don't, it'll get dry, it'll crack.
Yeah.
You can stretch it out, make it last longer.
Okay.
But I wouldn't want to have to peel that off of somebody's,
there's a process
Porsche
to
or
that
something
too,
like that,
And then after you have to put chemicals on there to get it out.
Yep. Then there's paint correction. You got to
yes.
fix the paint after you peel it off.
Exactly. So what would you say your packages, like a package runs to get detailed?
So like standard beginning prices?
Yeah.
It's anywhere. So exterior is like 80, interior is about 100. That's starting base. Everything else underneath that is an add-on. So we make it to where customers go online and they can build their own detail.
Okay.
So, or they could call.
Okay.
And everybody has to create their own profile, right? So that they have their name, telephone number, address, vehicle information in, and then that way they could build a detail and it's more of an accurate estimate without even talking to us.
Gotcha.
And then we do the same thing on the phone if they end up calling.
Okay.
Sometimes they have questions. 80% of our customers do everything online.
Gotcha. And what should a customer look in a detailer?
What should they look for?
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be reliability.
Reliability.
Because a lot of our customers will say, yeah, we had this detailer for a few months and then they started showing up late, then didn't show up at all.
Oh, wow.
And then now they're not even answering the phone.
Wow.
So reliability.
Wow.
Anybody can detail a car. Being reliable and consistent, being able to run a business so that you're focused on the customer service instead of where you got to be next is that's the trick.
That's right. Yeah.
Our software runs the business for us, basically.
Yeah. Oh, so there's software for.
Yeah. We use Detail Bookie, and we were actually we were the beta testers for Detail Bookie a year before they launched.
That's amazing.
So we're actually a part of the industry, which is, we met Dustin Jackson, who owns Detail Bookie, and we helped him establish, what all the bugs were, different ideas to help improve the software before he launches it to the public.
Gotcha.
Because he built it for his detailing business.
Interesting.
Instead of having filing cabinets full of paper and customers, with everybody's stuff on it.
Could be a nightmare.
Yeah, I could just type your name in, boom.
Wow.
I can schedule an appointment. You could do it online right now. Don't even have to talk to me. Automated text. Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice. It's all customizable on our end. So
that's interesting.
It's a smooth experience for everybody.
Interesting. So Tommy, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you and talk, get in contact and schedule something, what website do you have or?
NitPickingDetailing.com.
All right.
I don't know where I look.
Yeah. So Scott,
just NitPickingDetailing.com. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We have a Google My Business as well. And then if you want to call, it's 863-999-4299.
Okay.
The easiest phone number.
We'll make sure to put those details in the video there for you guys to give them a shout out. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you. That's pretty cool.
We thank you for joining us again for another episode of the Latte Lounge. And Scott,
Tommy, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Scott. Thank you, man.
And thank you for being on the show.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And again,
we met a long time ago. I remember it was Zombie Fest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. He was on the stage, and I was running around with my dad, looking all the.
I remember.
People.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys, for joining us for another episode of the Latte Lounge. Remember, if you like the show, like and follow us and subscribe. And we got more content, so we'll see you on the next one.